What if I told you that you're only alive because of the worst day in Earth's history? 66 million years ago, a rock from space, traveling faster than anything you can imagine, slammed into our planet with the force of 10 billion nuclear bombs. In less than 24 hours, the rulers of Earth for 165 million years were wiped out. But here's the twist that scientists didn't expect. The dinosaurs didn't all die immediately. Some survived for days, weeks, even months after impact, struggling through a nightmare world that would make any horror movie look tame. And the craziest part? If that asteroid had been just a few minutes earlier or later, hitting the ocean instead of land, you and I wouldn't be here having this conversation. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, because what happened next changed the course of life on Earth forever. And it could happen again. Let me take you back to that fateful day. Let's picture this. A planet dominated by creatures so massive they made the ground tremble with every step. These weren't just animals. They were living fortresses of muscle and bone. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, standing over 40 feet long and weighing more than an elephant, reigned as the apex predator. Its bite force could crush a car, and its roar could be heard for miles. The skies belonged to pterosaurs with wingspans rivaling small aircraft, gliding on thermals while scanning the ground for prey. Below them, in the depths of ancient oceans, mosasaurs, marine reptiles longer than a bus, hunted with ruthless efficiency. Earth wasn't just inhabited, it was conquered by these magnificent beasts who had perfected survival over millions of years. Life thrived in every corner. Lush forests stretched across continents. Cycads and ferns created thick canopies, and the air hummed with insects the size of your hand. This was Earth in its most primal form, raw, untamed, and seemingly eternal. The dinosaurs had ruled for over 165 million years. They had survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and massive climate shifts. They seemed invincible, as permanent as the mountains themselves. The uninvited guest. But deep in space, something was moving. A rocky asteroid, roughly 6 miles wide, had been drifting through the cosmos for billions of years. It had witnessed the birth of stars and the death of galaxies. And now, by some cosmic accident, or perhaps cosmic destiny, its path intersected with Earth's orbit. This wasn't just any rock. This was a mountain of destruction traveling at 45,000 miles per hour, 20 times faster than a bullet. As it entered Earth's atmosphere, friction turned its surface into a blazing inferno. The sky itself seemed to split open as this messenger of doom descended. The dinosaurs had no concept of what was coming. They couldn't see the cosmic threat approaching. They continued their daily routines, hunting, feeding, protecting their young, completely unaware that their entire world was about to end. Ground Zero. The Chicxulub impact. Then it struck. The impact site was near what we now call the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. In that fraction of a second, everything changed. The asteroid hit with a force equivalent to 10 billion Hiroshima bombs, a number so staggering it's almost impossible for the human mind to comprehend. The impact created a crater 93 miles wide and 12 miles deep. The ground liquefied from the heat, which reached temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Rock vaporized instantly. A shock wave rippled outward at supersonic speeds, flattening everything within 1,000 miles. Ancient forests that had stood for millennia were obliterated in seconds, snapped like toothpicks by winds exceeding 600 miles per hour. But the immediate destruction was only the beginning. The impact sent billions of tons of rock, dust and debris rocketing into the atmosphere. Some of this material reached the edge of space before raining back down as a fiery hell. Imagine standing anywhere on Earth that day and seeing the sky light up with thousands of meteors, fragments of Earth itself falling back home as burning projectiles. The triple catastrophe. The impact triggered massive earthquakes, magnitude 10 or higher, that would have been felt on every continent. Dormant volcanoes suddenly roared to life, adding their fury to the chaos. But perhaps most terrifying were the tsunamis. Walls of water over 300 feet high, taller than the Statue of Liberty, crashed across coastlines, drowning entire ecosystems in minutes. The ocean itself boiled near ground zero. Marine creatures who had never known fear suddenly faced an incomprehensible apocalypse. The pressure waves from the impact traveled through the water, rupturing internal organs of creatures thousands of miles away. The deep ocean, usually a sanctuary from surface catastrophes, offered no protection this time. As the dust settled, or rather, as it rose, Earth began to suffocate. The impact had ejected so much material into the atmosphere that sunlight couldn't penetrate. Temperatures plummeted. This was impact winter, and it would last for years, possibly decades. The long darkness. Without sunlight, photosynthesis stopped. Plants died. Herbivores starved. And when herbivores died, carnivores followed. The food chain didn't just break, it shattered completely. The mighty T-Rex, who had never known hunger it couldn't satisfy, now wandered a barren landscape, searching for prey that no longer existed. The darkness was so complete that daytime looked like midnight. Temperatures dropped by 50 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Acid rain created from vaporized rock and burning forests poisoned the water and soil. The air itself became toxic, filled with sulfur and ash. For creatures adapted to abundant resources and stable climates, this was the end. The great dinosaurs, those magnificent giants who had dominated for so long, simply couldn't adapt fast enough. Within months, most species were gone. Within a few years, 75% of all life on Earth had vanished. The survivor's secret. But life is resilient in ways we're only beginning to understand. While the giants fell, the small endured. Creatures who could burrow underground, mammals no bigger than rats, reptiles, amphibians, found refuge beneath the surface where temperatures remained stable. Birds, the direct descendants of dinosaurs, survived by being small enough to require less food and adaptable enough to change their diets. They could eat seeds, which remained viable underground even during the long darkness. Their ability to fly meant they could search vast areas for the scarce resources that remained. In the oceans, deep-dwelling fish and scavengers thrived on the rain of organic matter from the surface. Creatures that had evolved to survive in low-light, low-oxygen environments suddenly found themselves uniquely suited for this new, harsh world. The new beginning. As the dust finally began to settle, literally, Earth started its recovery. The first plants to return were ferns, their spores having survived the apocalypse. Then came the flowers, and with them, a revolution in how life on Earth would function. The age of mammals had begun. Ecological niches opened up. Mammals, previously limited to small nocturnal creatures, began to diversify and grow. Within 10 million years, a blink of an eye in geological terms, they had evolved into forms ranging from tiny shrews to creatures the size of bears. This was natural selection on fast forward. The survivors weren't necessarily the strongest or most intelligent, they were the most adaptable. And among them, eventually, would emerge a lineage that would lead to primates, and ultimately, to us, our cosmic inheritance. Here's the profound truth. We owe our existence to that catastrophe. If the asteroid had missed Earth, dinosaurs might still rule today, and mammals, including our ancestors, would likely still be small nocturnal creatures hiding in the shadows. That single day of destruction was paradoxically the greatest gift our species ever received. The extinction of the dinosaurs teaches us that dominance is temporary, that even the mightiest can fall, and that survival often depends not on strength. It reminds us that we're part of a story that began long before we arrived and will continue long after we're gone. But here's what should keep us awake at night. It could happen again. Thousands of near-Earth asteroids are being tracked. Most pose no threat, but some, like the dinosaur killer, could end our civilization in a single day. Knowledge, technology, and the ability to see our doom coming. Space agencies worldwide are developing asteroid deflection systems. We're learning to spot these cosmic threats decades before they arrive. But would it be enough if a 6-mile-wide asteroid appeared on a collision course with Earth tomorrow? Could we actually stop it? The dinosaurs had 165 million years of dominance. Modern humans have existed for only 300,000 years, barely a heartbeat in comparison. Our cities, our technology, our entire civilization could be erased just as completely as theirs was. The question isn't if another major impact will occur, but when and whether we'll be ready. The cosmos doesn't care about our achievements or our potential. It's as indifferent to us as it was to the T-Rex. We're all just passengers on a small blue planet, hurtling through space, hoping our ticket doesn't get punched the way the dinosaurs did 66 million years ago. What do you think? Are we doing enough to protect ourselves from cosmic threats? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, every day we exist is a gift from a universe that owes us nothing.